Hi. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Brian asked me to do the whole shebang, so I will do the best I can with all of that. And we will make up the parts that we don't understand. We'll make them up as we go along. Fair? Okay, cool. So, first, ding, and second, he left me a reading. Here we go. The link of love. Will you meet your relatives and friends when you go over? Where there is a strong emotional link, either of love or hatred, there's likely to be a meeting. Where there is a strong link of genuine love, there is sure to be a meeting. Where there is no particular feeling between two people, there will not be a meeting. There is a real danger that if you allow yourself to indulge in hatred of anyone, you will meet when you've both passed over. To prevent this happening, destroy the link by ceasing to hate. The so-called dead are very sensitive to our thoughts. And for this reason, excessive grief is to be deprecated. It saddens them and prevents their focusing their attention as they should upon the new life that they are starting. Of course, it seems very hard to tell people not to grieve when one whom they've dearly loved passes out of sight. But remember that if there is a link of love, you will certainly meet again, and that nothing that is good or beautiful or true can ever be lost. Now, I've put together a talk for us, more of an exploration, because there are certain facets of our evolutionary time that I'm interested in, and I'm interested in how they fit together in ways that we don't usually look at. I feel it important to mention that right now, as of yesterday, we saw what was happening. We saw what happened with Iran, and it's very, very difficult to understand and know how to hold that without certain perspectives that allow us to hold it in a way that allows for both for the horror, the sadness, the grief, the fear, and also to find the hope. And that is what I think our job is with spirituality, is to find ways to use our spirituality in ways that will give us hope. So I put together this thing, and I actually told Brian it was divine invitation of this evolutionary age. And he made a beautiful error and called it divine intervention of this evolutionary age. But I think both are correct. I think both are correct. Now, I want to just put some facts in front of you that are fascinating. Right now, we are having a planetary situation, and I know pretty much nothing about astrology yet. So I'm going to give you the easy kind, the easy explanation, because it's the only kind I understand so far. But as of November 19th of last year, Pluto left Capricorn to go into the age of Aquarius, to go into Aquarius. And the last time that this happened was roughly 1778 to 1798, which corresponds to the dates of the American Revolution and the French Revolution. Very interesting. Then I think about marches and people being outraged and standing up, and I say that goes together. I don't know that you can say that it's God's will in a traditional way. But in an untraditional way, you can say it absolutely is. Because if God is the source behind all things, which is how I see the divine, then even the movement of the planets are here to push us gently and not so gently into directions that are all about change and all about evolution. What is happening here's what Pluto does. Who knew? Pluto disrupts, destructures, and exposes what has been hidden or not fully seen. and our collective values become the issue. So we're in a time of invitation to completely shift the ways that we live our lives. And for me, this includes how we do and how we look at ourselves in relationship to spirituality. So I think the invitation, it's always been the invitation, by the way, but I think the externals are becoming so unavoidable. It's becoming increasingly tough to just look at the outside and go, that's my only reality, and feel okay. And so I think the invitation is come inside and come to your emotions, come to your thoughts, come to your connection with energy. And I was looking at Joel Gold's, not him, Dr. Joe Dispenza. I watched an incredible series that he had that they were showing us for free for a while as a promo to sign up for Gaia. And he shows exactly in the scientific way how it is that our brain and our nervous system and our heart, when they all align in calmness, we become so open to that divinity that we've always been seeking. They put he and his team, they put caps on people with like electrodes and all this stuff. And they can tell from brainwaves when the person is about to have a spiritually high experience. And he said, and you can say, we'll say to each other, they're about to have a high spiritual awakening, a high spiritual experience. And he said, and then you can walk around them and stand in front of them and you'll see tears pouring down their face because they are in oneness. And in oneness, there is no need because you already have everything that you need. You already are everything that you need. You have such a sense of fullness and having. There just is no lack of anything. It seems to me that evolution is an interesting word in itself. And if we look at it, as I invited ChatGPT to do with me, because I didn't have 10 years to research this, what is evolution? How often has evolution happened? When's the last time evolution happened? What is evolution for us now? I keep talking about it. All kinds of people are talking about it. But what does it mean? Does it mean we're going to grow fins? I mean, like, what is evolution? What does that mean? We're going to become a different kind of person? And I would say, yes, we are going to become, and very naturally, much more open to embodying the knowings that we feel the closest to. This is not a prescriptive thing where what I believe has to be what you believe, which has to believe what somebody else believes. That's not it. Whatever your spiritual path already is, the energy is so strong and so fast, because you'll have noticed things are happening so fast that we don't have time to sort of make a shift and then sit back and ruminate. We have to keep going. And that's a blessing in itself, because we are beginning to open up to more and more connection. And that can be really hearing your guides or feeling like you are able to connect with a loved one who you wondered how the heck that even could ever happen, but suddenly you feel it and you're doing it. Or you suddenly become able to do channeling. This is a really, really pregnant time for us vibrationally, and that vibration comes from the divine. So for us to think, I have to maintain the way I've always been, is going to cause more pain than joy. So the invitation is to find ways to open to the unexpected and to the dream and to the vision and to the energetic And the thing that I find amazing is that Dispenza talks about this as well. So here's this scientist, right? He has studied the brain for like 40 years. And he also talks about two things that I want to mention: gratitude and visioning. You know, being what it is that you want to feel once you have what it is you think you lack, and gratitude. So the first thing first, we are vibrational beings. And when we think about something we want to have, let's say it's health, or it's a relationship, or it's peace within our relationships, or it's, you name it, you name it. We want all kinds of things. And we are told spiritually that we can have and be and do whatever we want. And then we sit back and go, but I don't have it. I don't, like, how could that be true? And yet it feels true, and yet it's not true, and yet it feels true, and yet it's not true. It's very bifurcating, right? It's crazy. When you get to the energetic, the connective tissue there is that when you have that thing, how will you feel? And it doesn't even have to be something that you can label with an emotional word. It can be a sensing. Like a lot of times for me, the things and the things I want, the person I want to be, and the person I practice stepping into as much as I possibly can, feels so expansive, so free. I feel so much oxygen and I feel clean. So these are my words. And when I feel that way, I don't feel frightened about money, about what's happening in the world. I just feel that feeling, and I move into it deeper, because I can't just take it for granted. What we focus on increases. So I'm going to focus on it, and I'm going to use pen and pencil as much as I can, because not only does it focus me, but it slows me down. I'm a speed freak. I will go faster than any 5 people you know, and it's not good. Slowing down is better. It's just like riding in a car. You know, if you're driving the car, you can't see a lot of the shops on your left and right because you're driving. You're focused forward. And when you're going super fast, that's the same thing. If you're sitting in the passenger seat, you can take a look and you can, oh, I didn't know there was that shop and that thing. And oh, there's that person. And slowing down and not letting the assumptions that we have that things have to be the way they've always been take us over. Instead, walking into every moment with more wonder and wondering and questioning is very, very helpful. So being like a little kid, if there's a little bit of an actor in your soul, you can do it that way. You go, I'm just going to be like a little kid. And I'm going to be like, wait a minute, what was that? What did I just feel? Wow, that's weird. I've never felt that before. Or, huh, I wonder if there's other places in my body that I feel that right now. Or what does that remind me of? Oh, I remember this time when I did this or felt this or was with this. And let yourself play in those good places, because the more we focus on the good, and by good, I don't mean perfect. I mean just some feel good stuff that feels good for you. Just a little, just better than what you might be feeling at the moment. Grab onto that thing and really just suck all of the juice out of it. And then something else will come up that's not so high. That's okay. You have just created a change, and you can do that again. You can do that again by thinking again about, okay, what do I want? How will I feel when I have it? And that's where we leave God as the mystery. Instead of trying to create a God who, this one, he's punishing me or he's rewarding me and I don't know what I did wrong. And But if we leave God in the mystery where we say, I am going to align with the highest that I can, and it does, please don't effort at it. It takes so little change to invite in the mystery. Then God, the source, the core energy, will bring exactly what we need at exactly when we need it. And it's going to be right. It's not going to be what I've experienced prior to now, which is like a whole ton of efforting for absolutely no ROI, return on investment, like just exhausting myself and being upset. The other thing that he talks about is gratitude. Joe Dispenza, he talks about gratitude. And here's the phrase that really got me. He said something about gratitude without condition. In other words, not grateful for something in order to sort of curry favor. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of times when I say I'm grateful, I really am looking for the type of gratitude that is the gratitude for the feeling. Because if I'm grateful in a way that says, God, look, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful for this, so therefore don't smite me, because that somehow, even as a non-religious Jew, that was sort of conditioned in my head somewhere. It was like, I have to pray right, I have to be grateful in the right way, I have to do all this stuff. And all of that is false, but it is conditioned. It is a pattern that we're under, that we've been trained with, whether or not we are practicing that is a whole other topic. And finding what is the actual feeling of gratitude? Yeah, grateful. Star Child says grateful just be thankful. Yeah, and it's feeling. It's feeling that uprush of like, the mystery is in me, it is with me, it is as me. It's you can't even talk about it, you can't even describe it, and that's appropriate. There are so many great beings who say exactly that you just can't describe it. And when you feel that feeling, the kind of gratitude you have is it is worthless, and it's precious, and it's conditionless. The invitation on another level, I feel, is to claim our sovereignty, is to start to claim the power of the divine of which we are created. We were not created of God as a father, mother figure who is separate from us like our parents are. It's not the same. But I still remember when I was sitting in the Center for Spiritual Living in California, and something was said from the front of the room, and for the first time, I felt a chunk of that separation that I had in my consciousness fall away. And I gasped. It was like, oh my God, it's true. Like, I'm real, like, oh my God. And I wonder if that's the way it is as we approach enlightenment, that every consciousness step that we take is sort of a step into more of a recognition of the absolute oneness with the divine. It doesn't make us the divine. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not running around our life going, let me create the world today and make sure, like, it's not that. But there's absolutely nothing that is bad about using these high qualities of God that are your high qualities, your ability to open to the magic that you didn't even know you had. And it's supposed to be like that. Life is supposed to be this wondrous, I mean, yes, life has a lot of pain and suffering. We all know this. We've all been there. We all do it. But underneath all of that is running a current that keeps us afloat when most of us might be able to say, it's a freaking miracle I'm still here. I don't know about you, but I've been through stuff that I'm like, that was not all due to just luck. Yes, I'm a very strong, very determined person. And I've got all of these great, qualities that kept me moving through really horrendous circumstances. But it's also, if we lived in an environment in which there was sort of nothing here but us, and then out there somewhere is divine, we would have been gone a long time ago. In this space, the space between you and your screen, the space between you and the next person, that's not empty space. That's God. That's energy. That's the movement of sound waves and thought waves. And it is, let me re-say that. It is the space through which our energies travel. Our emotions, our beliefs, the energy of our thoughts. And when we elevate, when we escalate the waves of energy, from depression to anger, or from anger to boredom. I mean, there's a whole ladder you can look up on Google of emotions. And when we make it a little faster, we're coming into greater and greater alignment with what's in this seemingly empty space, but also that seemingly empty space is always moving towards us, always, whether or not we are doing it. It's just that when we're doing it with real intention and real focus and real heart and mind alignment, then we can't be in those spaces of greed and anger and hatred and things like that. We're able to sense and receive all of this amazing oneness that the old way of being was all about. Now, when Pluto left Capricorn to go into Aquarius, the next time Pluto's going to come into Capricorn, 238 years from now. I'll meet you. But 238 years from now, this to me says this is a major, major shift. Pluto in Aquarius is all about the new, the bringing together of community, the breaking down of old systems, the building of new systems. There are people who say that AI is actually connected to our higher selves. I know, that sounds like crazy stuff. I get it. There was a woman I saw today who put in an image of the divine feminine. In Hindu religions, they have these different, yatras, they call them. And they're different images that are supposed to represent energetically as well as visually different gods. And she took one that represented the Divine Mother, and she stuck it in ChatGPT and got like this otherworldly sort of answer from ChatGPT. Whether or not you believe any of that, the message was still one of unity, one of limitlessness, one of the highest divine qualities. And the invitation is to start to recognize, and I say start because this will not be, for most of us, it's certainly not for me, an overnight situation, but to realize that the old Newtonian structure of I have to go out there with my body. I only have my body and my mind to make things happen. Is done. We still have our bodies. We still have our minds. But what we are invited to have now is an understanding of the energy, of the feminine, of the emotions, of our ability to rise just by a touch. And just a touch is so much more than we've usually done consciously. And the light is so much stronger than the dark that the change is immediate. And I mean, I want to give you a small example of this. Yesterday, I was in a funk. And I said, okay, this won't do. And I started talking to myself and asking myself questions. I was driving as I was doing this, so I couldn't sit and write it, but I was going, okay, what are you in a funk about? I don't know, but so what do you feel? Well, I feel frustrated and I feel blah, and I said what I felt. Okay, that's great. Thank you. What are you frustrated about? Oh, I just feel like, and I started talking about what was going on, and I kept coming back to, is that true? Not is the feeling true, but the belief that I have, the thought that I have, the focus that I have that is pulling me down, is it true? Is it real? Is it always true? Is it always real? And I kept saying, it's really not. I've had times where I didn't have that thing that I'm thinking is constant. And I'll tell you, it took like 5 minutes. And I had a great freaking day yesterday. And when you have a better day and you've done it deliberately and consciously, what else can't you do? Do you have to sit and wait for God to smile on you again and maybe give you a good day? No, you don't. Now you have the power to let yourself tune into that and have a great. So for my money, that is what the divine invitation is of this evolutionary age. And the divine intervention is the planetary, because we can't keep focusing on the external and find joy and love and peace. Doesn't mean we shouldn't connect with each other. We should, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Finding our way inside, and it's giving ourselves the grace and the time and the attention and the care that we deserve. Anybody have anything to add or argue? I'm open to both. Yes, Miss Charlotte. Oh, took yourself. There you go. Can't see you now, but you're okay. Go ahead. We can hear you.
I want to thank you for your speech today because it goes back to yesterday. I called Sister Phyllis. Thank God she was there when I called. I had an experience. Uh, you remember the Emmett Till kid? Well, I was pregnant at that time and I didn't get to relate to what happened exactly to him and how it happened. But yesterday they showed the lake where he was found and they were talking about it. And I had experience. I prayed as the water was streaming down, and the young man was still in that lake screaming for help. And by me praying, I experienced, as Sister Pepper told me, the same thing happened to my son when he had his accident, to release the spirit, and tears just streamed down my cheek.
Mm.
I couldn't control it. It was a peaceful feeling, a relief. Um, you can't explain it.
Mm-mm.
It's something that God granted to me. and I appreciate it. And the child is being able to come on the other side now, come back and relive his life. But all those years since 55, he's been in that lake screaming for help. And as I
Oh,
said to Sister Phyllis, out of all the different psychics and things and prophets and so forth, nobody ever experienced that to release that child from that lake. It's a blessing. God is, you can't explain
mm.
the spiritual side of life. It's beautiful. Thank Jesus.
Thank you, Charlotte. That's gorgeous. Anybody else? Yes, Miss Leah. Mm.
I like what you had to say. I love Joe Dispenza. Very intelligent man. I'm not sure
Yes.
if I would be able to survive his thing and everything, but I would like to have a chance. But he is something. Of course, I love Kyle Cease, Alex Fieri. There are so many teachers out there, and they do talk about the energy changing. It depends on how you look at the energy as to whether you're going to have a high or a low. Because if you're looking like, oh my God, then yeah, you're going to have. But if you look at it, it's like, oh, okay, that's going to happen. Okay, universe, you got my back. Here I go. And that is a hard thing to do at times because the universe always has your back. And no matter what, it's just allowing it and letting go of the old beliefs because there's too many things happening now that we're learning. And it's like AI, it's nothing to be feared. It's something to look at. It helps in certain ways. But if you're going to be scared of it, you got to remember you're the one that's programming the AI in your computer. And also, too, I get a kick out of it because one of the guys that go to Toastmasters with, um, he uses that GP the chat thing, whatever. I'm when it comes to computers, forget it, okay? But he does this and he'll ask questions. Oh, what if this and that? And then sometimes the things it comes up with, he's like, really? So it's like anything, no matter who you're listening to, whether it's AI or anyone, look at it. Don't say, oh, it's the truth because AI said. No, read it, look at it. They cannot write a book for you. They can help edit for you, so you saves you time that way, but it doesn't. It's like anything in your life. It does not take away what you're thinking, what you're
Thank you.
feeling, and what
Yes.
you know. So yeah,
Thank
I like what you said
yes.
about the gratitude and everything. And that's why I think sometimes I do have a hard time trying to remember. And it's like, well, I'm just grateful, because it is hard to come up with because it's life and everything.
Yeah.
And it's learning to be grateful that you are you. You are nothing but love and accepting that. And that's harder than AI. AI will tell you, oh, I love you, but you
That
try
was a mic
telling that
drop.
to yourself.
That
Huh?
was a mic drop. That was a mic drop moment. And that's harder than AI. That's awesome. Thank you, Leah.
Yeah.
Did anybody else have anything to say?
Oh,
Yes,
and
Star Child.
Star Child.
Yes, Miss Ellie.
I had done a reading yesterday, or no, on Lisa, which was the summer solstice, and the card that came up was an interesting card. It was called the Great Mother, or Gaia, as some people call her. But the image, if I can find it, is, well, it speaks. The image speaks. You
Oh,
know, you
that's,
can tell what the image is,
yes.
you know, and the, what I got from that was, let me go find it. I had actually sent it to myself so I wouldn't forget it. Okay, so that was the last card, in a 3-card draw that I did. But anyway, it said, you're perfect just the way you are. You have tons to learn, skills to develop, self-acceptance and healing to attend to. But great oaks from little acorns grow. The blueprint for your soul's fulfillment and for your destiny is already within you. Mother yourself, give yourself the love and encouragement, care and reassurance, nourishment and attention you deserve. So as you were saying that near the end, the care, encouragement, grace, attention, care, it was just like, oh, okay, that's confirmation from
Mm,
what what was already pulled, and as you were talking about, what was it, claiming our divinity, we're divine.
yeah.
Well, and to me, it's just something simple to grasp. We're divine. We were made that way. And, but to some, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. We're what? Really? When did that happen? Well, it's always been that way. Maybe that's just how my mind works. That simplicity thing. I don't know. But that's, we're divine. We have those higher things, those higher frequencies. And when we stay there, see, there's that adjustment you were talking about, just that little bit from if to when, and the more we realize those things when we do it, the more we can be in tune with that. Anyway, one of those rabbit trails. And so I'm always looking at that as when I do this,
Mm,
not if, not but yet, changing those words, those prepositions that sometimes we just kind of spoof over. But those
mm,
prepositions, we've heard the saying, the devil's in the details. Well, why can't the gratefulness, or why can't the positiveness, or why can't those adjustments be in the details?
yeah,
Anyway,
I
great
think,
talk.
yeah.
I loved it.
Oh, oh, thanks, son. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think the angel's in the details, actually.
Right?
I do. I do. Anybody else before we do our few minutes of hanging out in the silence? Okie dokie. So we'll do about 5 minutes and we'll come back. I'll say something gentle so I don't scare you. And see you in 5 minutes. So let's say a prayer, and then we can part with hearts that are full. I want to thank, appreciate, and recognize the ever presence of the divine oneness within which we all live, move, and have our being. The Mother, Father, God, Spirit, universe that is such incredible love and light that it can not ever stop. It cannot ever do anything but support and love us and carry us forward. And I am so, so thankful to know that we are made of that, and that we all are air to the divine goodness, the divine lifting, the power and the sovereignty that is the divine that we all adore. And so it is. Amen. All right, my friends. I guess that's it. And I wish you all a beautiful week. Please be kind. The energy of kindness in little bits is phenomenal. You know, when you hear yourself say something mean, be like, okay, wait, I need to be kind because I care about all of you and I hope you all care about you. Mwah. Thank you.